Hello, guys. Extremely sorry for the delay once again. Uh, I'm live even as the games have begun, and the reason for it is twofold. Firstly, Spotify was not working, so if Spotify works in the middle of the stream, then do let me know. Secondly, it was just sheer laziness from my part. I was tired and lazy, and didn't really feel like setting up stuff. So I kept procrastinating till the point of, not being able to do it anymore. So the reason's twofold. And I'm sure the second reason is something all of us can relate to. So since Spotify is not working, I'm getting a error 404, uh, and I blended upon. My opponent is actually a pretty decent player. I blended 2 points. Let's see if I can save this game. So Spotify is error 404. So if it works midstream, then do let me know, and we can have some music. Until then, my voice has to be the music to your ears. Apologies for that. Okay, so I'm late, OP, and I have given 2 pounds odds. Let's hope my opponent plays more like my Discord members than a title player. There's also something weird with my mouse. It's not quite moving the way it's supposed to. So out of those 2 pounds, we have got back one of the pounds. I was also watching a movie just right up until the stream. And it's a movie that I had already watched recently. I was rewatching it. So knight g5, if I take this, he takes bishop g5 and I'm in huge trouble. Can I interpose knight b3 and take on c1? Knight b3, he takes rook into a4, knight into c1, queen into c1, and he has those 2 pawns. So how can I try and defend the e file from being entered onto? Whenever I play queen d7, there's knight b6, so I guess bishop c6 should be a move. Knight e6, knight into e6, f into e6 was the idea. And now if this knight gets attacked, we go knight b3. He doesn't attack the knight. He wants me to... So knight b6, I'm intending queen f7. But here's bishop e3, which is probably going to see. Okay, it's the only move I had. So I played instantly. Yes, again I think bishop and d5 is the only move to survive. So sometimes we just our position becomes so bad that we have to just try and survive move by move. One more at a time. I feel like I have to go knight b3. Also, I need to play faster. I am playing a bit too slow, which I have to just make a move which looks like it's not losing. So now I'm going to have huge trouble defending this. Yeah, he plays it directly. I was sort of hoping that he will play it after he moves the rook, and I'll get a move time. But he goes for it directly, which doesn't make it easier. Rook b5, he just takes on e8. I think I should just throw in the towel in this position. It's going to be too difficult to fight back from here. It's just impossible. The position is just too bad. He'll just go queen e6. Yeah, queen f6. Okay, that's the typical of Title Tuesday start these days. I'm not taking part in Tata Steel because it's an invitational event. It's not an open event, so it's not for everyone. Yeah, Spotify is just not working. This time we are playing Title Tuesday from the beginning. Is I think it's going to take a while before I get into the flow in these events. And this daylight savings time is really not helpful. So the problem in this game, as far as this was concerned, I was just talking, and 95 was a very bad move actually. I shouldn't have played 95. Instead, I should have taken and gone some 98 or direct 98. Knight d5, I just came under d into c5, and I'm losing 2 pawns. So this was a blender, and I think right from here I was just busted completely. So back to live chess. Hikaru's playing, but I think he's out somewhere in the real world, and his position also doesn't look pretty at this moment. He also seems to be struggling. So we might have some company for our mystery if that happens. Queen c8 check. Maybe just queen f5. Yeah, just king g6 now, and he's winning here. The queen has to move. He has to watch out for some queen f7 check, but he just goes king g5. And yeah, king h7 also works. Vijay Pranav has a rating of 2981. Wow, nice. But he's not having a lot of time right now. So who are all the Indians playing today? I think we have to go a bit, scroll a bit further down to find any Indian player. I don't see any actually. I don't know who is FG, which is anyone. This is Bharat Subramanian. But aside from that, I don't see any. Yeah. Oh, the pinned message chat. Yeah, because of the daylight savings time, I had to delay my stream by 1 hour. It was scheduled at 10:25. Uh, but I think it can be brought down now. Yeah, Bandhan, I'm late. I wish I can say that I'm late and I'm 0 out of 1, but truth is I played really badly, and I'm at 0 out of 1. And something also feels a bit odd about my mouse. I think that some part of that cold is still there. So my voice is still not back to 100%. And that's also why I'm talking with a lower volume than usual, because I still have a bit of that throat pain. So you won't see me doing any professional recordings and stuff. 3 more games still going on. This is going to be a draw. Gilbert GM has won. So 2 more games going on. Oh, white is winning here. Rook G4 check, King H. King F5. Just go King H5. Okay, Rook F5 should win now. What? What are these guys doing? What? Oh my god. It's so not how to play here. Okay. Next game has started. It will start in 10 seconds. And let's go. E4. What's the name of my opponent? Nadia Toncheva. She's a FIDE master, I think from Bulgaria. This one was a Paulson variation. And I do like to have my bishop on d3. Here, f4 is a pretty interesting move actually. Let's try it out. The idea of e5. Insisting on e5. Now, I think castle should be okay, if I remember right. It's been such a long time since I played these 1e4 lines. So I do feel a bit rusty here. But I don't think she should have allowed this e5. This feels wrong from black. So e5, she has gone 98. And here it feels like I should be having something strong. ED and knight into e6 is one option. I can play f5 or just queen h5 and queen h3. Queen h5, queen h6, rook e3, rook h3. So many interesting options on the plate. If only I could do an audience poll. Maybe it's not as bad for black as I initially evaluated it. But what is black's next move? What if I just play like a3? Should we try that? You know, let's ask black what she wants to do. Okay, so now there's less pressure on e5, but there's more pressure here. It felt like she was ready for this. She's playing really fast. How about we take and play queen h5 and rook e3? Shall we try that? I didn't really calculate for this. So if black has a defense here, I'll just be a piece down. But it just feels like, yeah, so one defense for black is g6, queen h6, knight g7, rook h3, knight h5. But the attack still keeps going. It's not totally over. And that's one thing which is a good thing in Blitz, you know. You make some things like this which doesn't look like it works. So here I can start with rook h3. And after f6, I can take f and d5 now. So the threat is made. She has to do some f6 or f5. I was looking at f6. So now at the least white can make a draw. I mean, I can make a draw with check and back. But do I have more? I probably don't have more, but I should probably. So knight f6 is a threat. Yeah, but I don't really feel like drawing this game. Oh no, I don't really have a draw. Queen h7 and queen h5 check. Black can play g6. Okay. In the absence of a draw, I mean, in the absence of any good move, only thing left for me is to try and play fast and try and work with some threats. So it's important for me to keep the pieces menacing out there. Rook f4, rook h4 is a two-move threat. So I can send in for reinforcements, get them, and try to get something going, but it would potentially be too slow. Black wants to come here. Because I have to do this, and she takes everything. It's a lost question. It feels like I've really forgotten how to play good chess on streams. Okay, it's a bad question, but it's still not over. So we have this pin, and yeah, rook c8 was one of the moves she can use to dribble out from that. G4, I have knight d4 check, and no, I don't have knight. G4 and f3 she has. Then I lose further material. So it was not such a good follow by me either. Just hoping for rook c2 and knight d4 check. I never really got this pressure going in this game by just playing too slow. And here also, I'm not really creating any threats at all. So black can just move the pawns, you know. It's all pretty obvious for black. It's very easy for black to move. Yeah, she plays 93 check, takes this pawn. And then I won't even have this 95 check, which I was trying to keep alive. And that is G4 now, yeah. G3 and rook h minus check mode. So I guess it looked menacing against her, but I guess I didn't really have any attack going. Also, like one of the lowest ratings I've been on chess.com. It's, I guess till this point was okay. Apparently, I was supposed to put G4 here, G4, G5. Starting with castle was perhaps a bit too soft. And now E5 directly. Rook A1 is too slow. E5 directly, what is black? Just captures this pawn. And now knight c6. Yeah, I can see why this would have been better. But rook A1 not the best move. E5. And here I just spent too much time. I didn't feel the position well. And yes, 45 is, yeah, I have to do with my mouse. I'm sorry about that, Mina. A3 was a bit too slow. Then takes queen h5, rook e3. It, but okay, yeah, I still had a draw here. I should have played queen h7, king f7, and now knight into f5. For some reason, I kept repelling everything related to a draw, you know, and I just wanted to keep the game going, which would have been a good strategy if I had played a bit faster. But I played too slow from the start, and here also I had too little time, so I was never really in with a chance. My opponent was never under any pressure at all. But what happened to Discord? I think Discord was always okay, no? Hikaru drew, but okay. Even with the draw, he's 1.5 points more than me. Jospam lost. Wow. Raunak is playing too, and he's won. I wonder if he's streaming. Jeffrey has won. It was a pretty intense match between Wesley against Raunak yesterday, by the way. I think Jeffrey was leading through most of the match, but Wesley prevailed. Pranav Vijay won, so he's on 2 out of 2. He recently played in this Halloween Chess 24 tournament, and he played really bad. Kapil, I'm aiming for 9 out of 11. Ooh, round 3 started. I'm playing a women FIDE master. So the previous round I played a FIDE master. This is a women FIDE master by the name Svetlana. I'm not going to be too adventurous enough to pronounce this last name. And I have 1-0 score against her. Apparently I've beaten her before. Yeah, aim for the moon and reach the stars. That's how it goes, right? Starting with the traditional Rylopus. I've really forgotten how to play 1e4. It has been a really, really long time. This knight d7 is not one of the mainstream moves, but what she's trying to do is exerting pressure on my center, which is what the main Rylopus is about. I don't think what I played has any relevance to the best move, but at least I get a good, I get a middle game. So one of the things I'm also thinking about when playing Title Tuesday is that these games appear on the database, and I want to try and keep confusing my opponents as much as possible. I ideally shouldn't have allowed this, but I still have bishop b2, bishop c3, bishop d4, so I keep my center intact. Yeah, c3, bishop d4, and if bishop d4, then knight d4. But I think my opponent will play. Okay, I thought she'll play c5. She takes it. Then knight into d4, knight e5. Now I can go knight f1, knight g3, just improve my stuff here. c5 is knight f5, and also queen h4. I think I can go knight f5 anyway. Queen f4, there's knight g3. It feels very unconvincing so far the way black has played. If only I can get this f4 square under control, white would be so much better. But I don't see how I can do this right away. H4 is tempting, but she just goes queen f6. If I had my knight already on g3, it would be okay. But no. So right now, just knight g3. This knight on b6 is also not well placed for black. So that's another potential point of concern. Yeah, I'll just come back. I'll go rook f1 and f4. Rook f1, queen f4, then I'll get knight e2. Astrophysically incorrect. Yeah, I think I can go knight e2 directly as well. I don't really need rook f1. It's been a really long time since I grinded in these kind of Lopez positions. Hi Pransha, good to see you too. So what would I do if I were black here? So white wants knight e2 and f4. This I know because I am white. I think h5 would be a bit annoying. Knight e2. Yeah, knight d7. She's preparing against potential f4, but doesn't really improve the coordination of black's pieces too much. So knight e2 anyway, with f4 coming in next. Then I want to get my queen out. So f4 done. Queen c5 check I expect. Okay, queen h4. So I can go queen d3, or I need to protect these pawns. Next move knight c5 is coming. So maybe queen d4 to have everything protected for now. And I need to protect these 2 pawns. So maybe this rook can come to f3. That's one potential game. Queen f6 I think I can retreat here. Next, this knight would come to c3. This king would come to h2. And how do you improve the b6 knight? Yeah, knight c5, knight c3, queen h4, king h2 next. Then rook e2, rook f1. Just prophylaxis, just in case. Keep it protected. Then next we need to bring this rook into the game. So this rook to e2, this rook to f1. Once we have all the pieces in place, then we'll open things up. Knight e6, just rook f1, queen d4. I would like to play bishop d3, but then there's knight c5. So I think I'll just go queen e1, keep everything protected. It feels like I'm going back with every move I'm defending. But in truth, what is happening is black's pieces are kind of going out of coordination. So she's kind of like moving things back and forth and not really making any long-term improvement. And white's pieces, on the other hand, they are in the places that they are supposed to be. So with all these pieces concentrated here, I'm going to open up with f5. Potential f into g6 incoming. Um, Also, queen e3, rook d4, these kind of ideas are there in the air. So this is the problem for black. So black should fight on with a4. And after a4, I'm not yet sure how I want to respond. But I'm not going to react here. I'm going to allow black to take a b3, a b3. I'll start with queen e3. And a into b3, a into b3, knight into b3, there's always rook d1. If not, then I have threats like rook d4. My opponent is a woman, Rahul. Rook e5, yeah, I'll go queen e. So, rook d4 is a threat. Queen is also improved. And now we're slowly moving for the kill. So this is a typical strategic game. Yeah, the queen goes to a3, completely out of what is happening in the rest of the board. And now we need to find the winning sequence. And there's not an immediate win. And it's not ideal to aim for one either. But keep piling on the pressure. Opponent has only 12 seconds. If they have multiple threats to defend against with such little time, they won't be able to cope up. And then they make mistakes. So when opponent has too little time, it's easier to respond against direct threats, a lot more harder to respond against indirect strategic ones. But even with all this, I don't see a win. I didn't see a win. I got to win lead when we scored. Yeah, and now rook b1 and knight b5 traps the queen. So this was my idea. Lost on time, but rook b1 and knight b5 traps the queen. So that's one. That's actually first win of the day, and not just the first win of the day. As you can see in this stream, I'm consciously trying to move it towards a lot more content about actual chess and a lot less nonsense. Just as I say that, there's a comment on the chat about AD. But yeah, AD got married, so it's a special day. But yeah, there's a conscious attempt to bring in more chess to the stream and streams in general. At least on Tuesdays and Wednesdays when Rahul, that was a question we had for many years, but it turns out that there are people. So going on to the analysis of the game, I think I played the opening decent enough. Bishop e3, bishop c1, all this makes sense. Bishop b2 also makes sense. And till this point, it was all good. And here, I think I was a bit inaccurate. I shouldn't have allowed black to take control of this f4 square. Stockfish thinks I should have just gone knight f3. So you see what Stockfish wants? He's playing against these two bad pieces on the queen side. So he's just he or she. I don't know how to address Stockfish. It thinks that we should trade this good piece, and the pieces on b6 and b7 are terrible. So that's why knight f3 is a good move, which is what it's suggesting here. And knight f1 also not a bad move. Knight f1 also it says is good. And now queen d2 and f4 was good. I played knight f5 first. This was okay, but not optimal. And I should have followed up with rook e3, rook g3. That would have made sense. Starting with knight g3 didn't make sense, and that's why the advantage went down a bit from +1 to 0. But I had things under control the whole time. After this, you see, all the moves were good. Queen d4, queen d2. Now I just brought in all the pieces. King h2, it thinks is dubious, but it's a very good human move. Now, as I mentioned, although it looked like I was defending everything, I had everything under control. And here, knight b4 was a tactical move that I missed because I was too focused playing strategically. And here also, rook d4 and queen h6 was more forcing. I went queen f2, which is a softer human move, and queen f7 and knight f5 was winning. But again, I went for the softer human option. Also because partially influenced by opponent having just 2 seconds and me having reasonable confidence that rook b1 and knight b4 is very hard to defend against. And king g7 was one such move, rook b1 and knight b5. After rook b1, my opponent lost on time. And I was a bit tense if I had gone out of chess.com/live, but I'm here and there's just one more game going on. Right. That has ended, so it's a draw. Talking about Stockfish, I'm reading some. I'm looking more into the computer chess, and more on that after this game during the week. National Master Vitor Bronson. What should I play against E4? Yeah, just try this. This is a very blitz opening. The modern defense, and something which hasn't been my favorite personally because black gets really less space. But with the with all these games being published, I actually I'm not playing that actively, so I shouldn't really worry so much about playing what I would normally play in tournaments. But even so, I feel like shying away from the mainstream stuff and keeping things close to my chest. I won't be streaming Tata Steel. ChessBase India is the official broadcast partner, and so that is where you can follow the tournament. Knight g4, h5. I'm not worried about that. With h5, g5. So this modern defense which I played, 1e4, g6, is something which is pretty popular in Blitz and also a popular variation against lower rated players. This is because the lower rated players, they are not very good at dealing with things when they don't know what to do, which is also true for us in life in general. So when you give them the freedom to do things on their own, then they mess up. Uh, so that is why it's a successful and effective opening at the lower level. And I think I already have not at the lower level, but when you're playing against a lower rated opponent. And I think I already have a pretty good version of kings in here. He's evacuating his king, which is not a great sign. If he takes fg, then f3 check. Rook h1, I wanted to play g3, but he just plays bishop e1. So maybe keep things as it is for now. Don't hurry. The unfortunate aspect, I can't get in c6. Okay, he's literally bringing in all his pieces on. And if I play g3 now and bishop e1, he's going to be completely boxed, but then he'll be able to bring it out. The way he's playing is completely unconvincing, but it's working. I mean, more than it's working, it hasn't landed him in a disaster yet, which is a bit lucky for him. Should I just go rook h2 and knight g4, knight h4 and ignore everything else, or start with defense first? I think I'll go rook h2. AB, I'll take CB. And next one, knight h4. ABCB so as to not allow a dangerous and menacing pawn. And take on G2 check. Bishop to f8. Just to protect our stone. He realizes that he cannot just passively defend. He has to get some counterplay going, which is sensible from his perspective. Yeah, so he's a pawn up right now, but his position is not so great. Now, the way I should probably be winning is rook h2, g2, and potentially rook h1. I can also throw in some knight h4 here and there. Knight h4 and knight into f3 is also going to be... Knight h4, knight g2, knight d3 is also nice. You see, all my pieces, not all my pieces, but some of my pieces are out there with full vigor, and his pieces are not. And that has been the difference between white and black here. He can take this, which would have been a sensible decision from his part. But okay, he just goes bishop d2 now. I have no option to come back. G2 and rook h1 threat. It's actually not that easy to win this. The position doesn't quite win by itself. I need to exert some effort. Because G2, rook h1, he just plays bishop e1, bishop f2. I am missing the services of this guy. And without that, how do I bring him into action? Just make a move. I'm not sure how advisable playing slow like this is also, because he can take this at some point. So now I'm just making some of these moves a bit fast, just to keep him guessing and provoke him into playing a bad move. I am reasonably confident that he will oblige. I think he did, because I'm attacking both this. At the very least, I can take this. And I can also take this. Both of them equally tempting. I think I'll take this because it looks flashier. So both of these pieces are attacked. And take f3 was the idea, which should work. Rook d2, f3, and both of them are attacked. All is okay in Chennai. Thank you, Private. But there is rain forecast for 18th. No, Firisha is not number 3 right now. He's still at number 4. Next, f3 is incoming. Bishop g4 is also tempting, just to trade off the pins. Play bishop e3. When taking this should be fine. Just protect it like this. And queen a7 is checkmate. So he has to play queen f2. Then I do queen b7. Bishop f3. Bishop e3 wouldn't count. Bishop d. Well, I'm just attacking this rook. And bishop d4 check, queen a7 check is checkmate. Okay, so not a very convincing game, but we still won, which for today's stream is actually a pretty commendable thing. 2 out of 4. And how's the game? Now we have a long, annoying break, yeah. Vito Bronson. What was my opponent's name? Vito Ferreira. My first game against him. Finding tips, checking mistakes, looking for missed ones. 87%. Yeah, I don't think I probably played this in the spirit of the modern weapons with the move like B6. Strange move, bishop B7, and the computer loves white in these types of questions. But H4 was a really ugly move, I think. He shouldn't have played this. And after this, I was completely okay. So this was like a good King's Indian. I think Nihal Rapport should be after the Tata Steel. This was a really ugly King's Indian for him from White's perspective. He did the right thing though. He went towards the defense. He immediately started evacuating because you cannot defend with a limited space. Immediately started running away from, running away with his king. He went evac, evac, evac. Uh, Taking with the bishop was better because then it allows me to bring my pieces faster to the side. Makes sense. I'm stoppish. What I played was a bit less optimal, but not too bad. Here, I did feel that rook f8 and b5 was probably the plan to go to, but yeah, queen h2 was a bad move, and now I got a big advantage because rook h2 and knight h4 is coming by moves, and I was kind of hoping for something like this, and I think from here it was just better for me all through till end. I was a bit tentative here. I could have probably taken rook e2 earlier, but I was greedier, not wanting to give him even a little bit of chance, waiting for a move like bishop f1. I could afford to play like this because I sensed that he was not very strong, and I could found that voluntary mistake was coming up, and so I didn't really have to force things. If I waited patiently, then I was probably going to get more. But against a stronger opponent, I should have been more proactive. So this was a pretty comfortable win, and is Hikaru still playing in this event? Or, it's more like, is his internet holding up? Raunak has 4 out of 4. Nice. Yeah, welcome to the title Wednesday. Actually, it is title Wednesday in India. Gotham Chess is playing and he has 3 out of 3. Wow. That doesn't feel awesome to me. How is Elias are so good is the question a lot of genetic scientists will also be wondering, but that which science has not yet figured out. So let's have a look at the standings. Champ 2005 Raunak is leading with 4 out of 4, along with Pranav Vijay from India and a bunch of other people. 444 people players are online. Shashi has 3.5 out of 4. He seems to be doing quite well. And that's it. Not as many Indians as you would normally find, maybe because of the daylight savings. The tournament is starting 1 hour later than usual. So Ronak at 4. This is Andrekin. I don't know who this person is. International master from Estonia, whose spelling is also not in English. So good luck figuring it out. Why is that surprising that rook into e2 is considered? I mean, it's not a brilliancy is brilliancy is basically what the algorithm thinks that the difference if the difference between the first move and the second move has a mathematical difference, like one is +4 and the other is +2, then that first move at +4 would be considered brilliancy. So it's all algorithm. Oh, so I did not. It's 2793.3. I need to update my tweet. What I mean, I was too premature. Uh, yeah, Let me change it. 27, 90.3. So I have committed to updating Elisa's scores live. I mean, his rating live. It's going to be very interesting to watch this rivalry between Alireza and Magnus. The way Alireza has developed is very similar to how Magnus did. And, you know, I did a bit of statistical analysis when the lockdown began and I had a lot of free time. And one of the things that I noticed, all the top guys, all the prodigies, they all reached at least a rating of 2750 by the time they were 20, or at least 2700. This was a benchmark at the age of 20. Very few people ended up at the top 10 in the world uh, who did not reach this amazing rating by the age of 20. Now, to give you perspective, at the age of 20, I myself was around 2450, and that was never going to make it into the top professional chess, the top 10. You have to get there by the age of 20, which is also similar in other professional sports like Formula One and certain sports like that. Now, even among these prodigies, there are prodigies, so many prodigies. Magnus was one, and Sergei Karyakin was one. And in the previous generation, these two players were the ones who were watched out for. They were the two best prodigies. But at one point, Magnus overtook Sergey. At one point, when they were at 17 and 18, they were both around 27, 30. And then Magnus just zoomed up right to 2800. And Sergey dropped a bit. He struggled to get to 2750. He was oscillating a bit between 2700 to 2750. Now 2730 is pretty close to the rating of Vidit, so that gives you perspective. And Magnus and Karyakin, they reached it at the age of 17. That was how good they were back in that time. And Magnus just turned out to be a bit better in getting that initial thrust. He went to 2800, and at least for a year before his match against Vichy, it was already clear that Magnus was the best player in the world. More after this game. I thought there was a 7-minute gap after round 4. Did I talk for such a long time? I'm playing a lot of 1e4 today. I don't know why. Kind of feel like going back to my old now and playing a more romantic breed of chess. I think bishop d2 was better here. I should have played bishop d2 the previous. Now this feels like I'm mixing up a couple of different openings. Break used to be after round 4 and round 8. Anyway, so takes. Now I get my queen out and castle long and get my king to b1. I already have these pawns on h4 and g4, so that gives me that initial thrust. h5, h6, and here I'll just go king b1. It's changed to round 5, is it? Well, Master Uwe would know. So queen to e4. I'll just make, I think, no, actually here I need to be concrete. If I can get something like bishop f4 working, I should go for it. Bishop f4, bishop e5 is one option. Not really sure how he plans to defend this. Like he goes rook d8, let's say. Bishop f4, queen c5, bishop e5. He takes this, takes, then I have bishop to d4. So rook d8, bishop f4, queen c5. What an anticlimax that one turned out to be. Okay, so I need to get H for H6 at some point. Now the question is, how do I start this, right? Should I go King B1 first, which is a very useful prophylactic move in general. Queen C4 is tempting. I can play A3 and ask him what he intends. Maybe I should do that, it will be a useful move in general. Yeah, there's going to be rains in Chennai from 18th onwards again. Uh, the battle is not over. Wouldn't say that Chennai is totally okay. So H6 is one option, G5 is one option. Um, Bishop F4. G5, G6. Yeah, this is just so bad for him. Next one, I'll go H6. So I'm expecting Queen C8, H6, G6, Queen D3, and then I'll get my knight to E4 by force. It's not a tough situation yet. Right now, the water has disappeared from most of the places, but there can be more rains. So after the experience of 2015, I'm permanently scarred, and that PTSD, because of that PTSD, I'm not yet I'm not yet relaxing. And next is Queen C3. Or maybe some Bishop D6 first. Because Queen C3, he can just sacrifice this pawn with E5. That's what I figured. So let's just remove this one guy who is defending. Yeah, I expected this. Now Queen C3. So I get Knight F6 of course. Queen D7. Actually, he doesn't have a defense anymore. No, November is the time where Chennai gets the southwest monsoon. So the in Tamil Nadu, it's not entirely abnormal to get rains, but the low pressure areas, LPA doesn't always mean lakhs per annum. It can also mean low pressure area. That is not exactly a common thing, and for it to occur so frequently is also not a normal thing. I think this game was a good game overall. Yeah, so as I was saying, Magnus and Karyakin, oh, it's northeast monsoon. Sorry, you would know Devangana. No offense against northeast. So I guess this game was pretty smooth for the most part. Seems like I missed my identity if I here. I did. Yeah, I did. I did. It's hard to play your best against opposition who's so much weaker because even when you're not at your best, you can win comfortably. So that's what happened here. That's why you don't improve so much when you're playing against opposition which is weaker than you. Yeah, so as I was talking, Sergey and Magnus, and at one point Magnus kept going ahead, going ahead, going forward, and Sergey dropped down a bit. Uh, it is southeast. It is southeast. Yeah. I retract my apology. Let me just confirm it. But it was. I thought it was the southwest monsoon and the northeast monsoon, right? Let me because SWZ, the monsoon in the north is what is it? Let me just quickly confirm it. South, 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 south. I also probably didn't go for the best source to verify this. Okay, November rains Chennai. What is it called? Uh, the southeast monsoon. Okay, I'm really confused here. So since rain is not, weather is not my uh, main thing. Let's get back to the. Okay, then I apologize again. If it is northeast monsoon, and
This is
I'll.
Weatherbond Pro double layer.
Okay, why did I go to some stupid website which ran ads and started doing? And I'll get back to this after going back to my 10th standard geography. So, yeah, uh, going back to the Sergey Magnus thing. Yeah, Magnus took that lead, and then he was. It coincided with Vishy's dip. So Vishy was also playing chess at a ridiculously high level, but it just coincided with his dip, Magnus's ascent, which is what made their world championship match one-sided. The first one where Magnus won 3-0, 3 wins to no loss. Vishy was such a great player that despite his age and his form and Magnus's young age, he managed to put up a very creditable fight in the next World Championship in Sochi in 2014, which he ended up losing, but he had his moments and he could have very well won that. But that was a Magnus that was the Magnus growth story, and the point where he overtook uh, Karyakin and also became the best player in the world. And Aliriza's growth has been very similar. Again, I'll get back after this game. C4. G6 is the way to start. I'll go E5. Knight F6. Bishop C5. C6. The idea of D5. Fighting for the center. Who's my opponent? Solid Hungarian FIDE master Pap Levente. E4. Should I go D5 anyway? This feels a bit dodgy, from here. Allowing some knight G4 and stuff. Maybe just casual because I'm so tempted to play D5. I'll prepare it one more. I'll go D5. Takes. He takes with the knight. I take. Takes knight B. This is the idea. Yeah. Now I get knight B4 directly. So if he plays D4, I take bishop D4, and after queen D4, there's knight C2. So A3, I can play knight D3 also. Queen B3, my intention was bishop F5, and then to put the knight on D3. Knight C2 is also a move. Bishop C2, bishop D3 is also tempting. No, then I would lose this pawn, bishop. So, D3 I don't like. I think I just take this. I can go E4 potentially next. I could have also taken with the knight. That was not an easy choice to make because they both looked very similar. Knight C2, knight D4 is a threat here though. So I don't really regret my choice. Rook is attacked. Next move I want knight d4. This has not been handled well by him. Both the queen and the knight are attacked. He has, and then I take back with. If I take, I can take bishop and f1 first. Yeah, I mean I can take this, but then he gets some rook d1. So I'll just take this. Greedy, greedy. VD actually has a fair chance of winning this Statistical tournament, which would probably be the biggest win in his career so far, if he's able to pull it off. Yeah, 94 takes. Look, look at his rook. It's so misplaced, which means I have to act energetically. I have to try and hit him before he has time to get his pieces in place. How do I do that? I have to create threats. So like something like d3 is a threat now. D3 queen b4. Yeah, he defends that. Also threatens this. Potential drawback. Uh, it allows some threats like b4 and rook b2. Yeah, he can also activate his rook this way. That is clever by him. Now I regret giving up this pawn, which was unnecessary. I don't think rook into e4 is a great idea. No, he's defended the worst. The worst has passed him, and I just needlessly gave up a pawn. Queen d4, I have bishop e5. So that is a trick. Now I'm just making moves, passing time. Trade would be a good thing for me, but he's not interested. And I'll try to trade like this. Try to trade and enter into his camp. Have to be careful with something like rook c2, not blunders. Protecting this, protecting this. For now, my king is safe, unless he manages to bring in a new piece. So that shouldn't worry me. And next is rook c2. I can also go queen c2, right? Yeah, and now I'll get my pieces. Oh, no, 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 no. Please don't tell me there's a disconnection. I don't think I have the. Only g5 and rook c7 worked. It should still be a useful move. G5. d6, I'll play rook b6. Bishop d6, I didn't see. Bishop f5 incoming. It's a good move by him. I have to go one step back, 2 steps forward. I'll get empty. Bishop to d4. e5 d6 takes this, then I'll be back in time. Things have gotten more tense than it should have. I think all is well at the end of it. Yeah, I think all is well at the end of this. Okay, more complex than it should have, but the result probably never in doubt. What is a? I'm sure there would have been a lot of mistakes in this game. Pretty sure there would have been a lot of mistakes. So yeah, Alivesa's growth graph has been very similar to how Magnus's has been, and he's set to reach 2800 by the age of 20, which is going to be really interesting because Magnus is not going to dip. He's not at that age which Vishy was at in a similar phase. So the way I see it, I mean, history is not always repeated, but it's really tempting to make anecdotes of his, not anecdotes, but to make parallels, analogies of history. So the Magnus Alireza rivalry seems quite close to the Carpo Caspro thing. So Alireza is like this young Caspro, the greatest talent the world had seen until that point, and Carpo was an incredibly good world champion. He was so dominant. He was clearly the best player for many, many years. And Carpo used to beat Caspro a lot in their initial matches, which is also true with Magnus Alireza. I think till now there are a few parallels, although, with these things, you always tend to try and find things that you want to find rather than what actually is. It's very hard to be objective about such things. But I think getting back to the chess part. Oh, Punin, he's a he's a avid anti-cheating guy. I mean, he takes it so seriously that he puts out uh, he's shames people who have been banned by leeches and chess.com in an ancient platform called Facebook. I'm not sure how many of you would have heard of it. Back in my days, it used to be a thing, like how Instagram is right now. So now the name Facebook is no longer. I mean, there is it's still used, although the company's name itself has changed to Meta. So Facebook, not quite at the museums yet, but well on its way. Did I blunder this? No, because there's usually always knight f3 for such things. But what if he takes knight g4 check, king g1, and now knight into d4? What if he intermezzos? Then I take bishop d4 and now queen h4. This is a worrying thing. I don't see a difference. So when he takes knight g4, I have to go king g3, and then I have to pray that it works. Takes knight g4, king g3, and queen g5, king f3. Yeah, I so saw this coming. I'll play it fast, as if I'm right, and it's all ridiculous from his end. And now my king is in time to reach safety. So the bluff worked. I think this is probably objectively okay for white too. Probably for queen d6 check, maybe even f4 was a move here. Although f4 allows knight into e3. So just king f3 should be the move. Now things are under control. So I can go king d2. I just reserve this bishop. And now come king d2. So there's no bishop e6. Yeah. Can go knight b5. So let's go attacking the queen. Queen e7 is the right place for them to go. I still need to be careful because, completely undeveloped. And he will get his bishop out next. So I think I got relaxed a bit sooner than I should have. I need to keep him under pressure, constant pressure. Trading queens would be a good thing for me because of how undeveloped my pieces are. Right now the idea is to just get this here. It's a very defensive move right now. Bit unexpectedly so. So I do this. Okay, now I can breathe a sigh of relief. The queens of I can take a pawn. So I should. So I will get that of G8. Next one I have 3 is coming. There was a threat of I shouldn't have allowed this. Okay, but I'm winning this. I'm winning this. I'm winning a lot of things. The question is just too good. Go rook c1. I can go f5. I still need to be a bit careful about this one. Threat is to take knight into f6. So if he takes rook into f6, I just play rook c7. Rook h8, rook g8 is the threat. And we are constructing a mating net. Now just rook h8. If king g5, rook h5 is mate. If king g7, then rook g8 and rook g6. Rook and h5 is checkmate, no? Yeah, we just missed that it's mate. Okay, so another comfortable win. Can Srinath read chat? It depends on which language it will tell. This was actually a game with pretty decent accuracy, 91%. And according to Stockfish, the biggest mistake was king g3, it seems. I should have gone king g1 And after knight into d4, if you remember, this was what I was worried about. Bishop into h7 check is the move. King into h7, queen into d4. And I only saw bishop into d4, after which queen h4. And I saw that there was nothing too menacing after king g3. Rook e8, why doesn't king f3 work? Queen g5. So you have to hit this point and not allow the white king to run to e2. So this was the uh, this was the point. This is how black should have played. This was the important thing in the position. And once he missed this, I think it was just completely winning for me. And it looks like I played good after this. Mostly best, good, best, good, best, good. And it was a pretty slow play. So it does feel a bit like I'm getting back into shape. Dropstone, that is David Paravian, is leading with 6.5. Hikaru is not playing, I guess. So which means I might end up scoring more points than Hikaru in this title Tuesday. He only played the first two games, yeah. Wait, why can't I see his games? Something has changed. He's playing a lot of current games. Okay, he's playing these correspondence games. So he played only 3 rounds. He scored 2.5 out of 3 and then he quit. So I have like double the points of Hikaru in this title Tuesday. I have 5. He has only 2.5. And he's going to stay at 2.5 like a hat. I, on the other hand, I started looking at totals. I lost the first 2 games. But here I am with 5 out of 7, proving that slow and steady wins the race. Where are all these Indian kids? Raunak has 5 out of 7. This is Aditya Mittal, a kid who is even younger than Divya. If you can imagine, there are such kids in the world. 5 out of 7. I mean, I've seen kids younger than Divya, but I haven't seen many kids smaller than Nihal. That is the benchmark to beat. And here I am at 5 out of 7, along with Gautam Chess, who is also at 5 out of 7. So I don't think 5 out of 7 is such a great score. Wonderful Time has 5 out of 7, so maybe it's not such a bad score. And let's look at who are all below us so that it boosts our ego, feels a bit better. The grandmasters below, who is Chess DJW, a German grandmaster, Dennis Wagner. Okay, decent player, not bad. Um, he has 4.5. Durarveli is 2600. He has 4.5. Elegance underscore RAK is Harika. She has 4.5. Then Ezikun Azhar Mirzoyev, 4.5. Not bad, not bad. Many people. GM underscore crest is Grandmaster Sergei Shipo, who also streams. Ridiculously strong GM and a very good coach. And he has 4 out of 7. So there's also Attack to Meet You. Who's this? Razwan Priyotu, Grandmaster from Canada. 4 out of 7. So quite a few accomplished people below us. Dropstone is David Paravian. He's a young grandmaster from Russia. Not as young as our devilish juniors. Okay, I'm playing Alexander Botnik. Why am I getting such opponents when I have only 5 out of 7? Because my rating has dropped to unbelievably low levels. Starting with the Sicilian. Here I'm hoping that my 1 second increment will certainly help because he's a very remorseless flacker. I think I've got a decent position out of the way. Knight g5 is something to worry about. I mean, I know all these things. It's all. I have even played games here, but I don't remember. And I can't recall it in these 3 minute games. It's the right spirit that he should be playing with. Knight g5 is an annoying move in this position. But I think knight g5 I might be able to defend with d5 because he cannot on press on. Queen d4, knight c6, queen f4, then do a casual shot. Should be okay, I think. Then e into d6, I'll play e5. I think I got my development out, and he's a bit undeveloped. As such, his attack shouldn't be menacing. So I think I can take this. The other option is to play e4, but then I won't get this pawn. So that doesn't feel right. Next, I need to get bishop f5, rook d8, and definitely need to watch out against potential attacks on the king side. So the main worry is opening up of the h file, and if he takes, then I'll take with the bishop. So he's certainly going to play knight h. Oh, okay. I can take with the queen, which would trade the queens, or I can take with the bishop, which was my initial intention. Uh, Taking with the queen certainly seems like a safe option, but doesn't feel. I don't want to do this, but I feel like I have to do this. Attacks the knight, forces the trade of the queen. And after queen g6, I take with the h pawn, and the pawn structure is intact. Next move, knight a5 is a threat. Yeah, so the position is out of danger, but it's not like I'm better or something. Still need to get pieces out, play with them actively. It could be a bit better for me, but certainly not worse. Yeah, bishop e2 was what I was anticipating. A6 was to restrict this knight. So now, if this bishop moves, I have knight a4 and knight c4. Two possible avenues. He did move the bishop. Knight a4 is tempting. Knight c4 is also tempting. Knight c4 he just takes in this. So I'll start with knight a4. If he has to go back with the bishop, then it's certainly not good for him. This move I missed, to be honest. It looks dangerous, Takes, rook c3 check, king b2, rook c8. The potential ideas of e4. Rook d8 check, the idea is rook d8, bishop d8, e4. Now rook b3 check is a threat. He doesn't have this knight d4, which he had earlier. So he takes bishop into a5, rook c5 check. Still the position is complex. King b3. Then I take e into f3 first, and then I'll take rook into a5. So at the end of it, I think I'll be a little bit ahead. Can he do something other than bishop a5? Rook b3 is Also, yeah, so rook c5 check. I have to protect the rook first. So first I give this check, I type this. Now I have to take this first. So as to now what if he just goes bishop b4, then I have bishop e6 check. And okay, I also have f into g2. So I'll have a lot of pawns. He just takes bishop f3, rook a bishop e6 check. What does he want? Next I'll take fg. Yeah. So rook c4 and b5 was my idea. So first fg takes bishop c4 check. Yeah, he has this annoying bishop. So I'm not winning my third pawn. This is exactly what I thought you would fall into. But he has rook g1. Lucky guy. It's so close. Okay, it's still on. Still a bit better pawn. It was a blunder. It was a blunder, and now I should be the one fighting for a draw instead of the opposite. Yes, 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 yes. Put the pawn on a light square. Yeah. Okay, this I should be able to win comfortably. I wish I had a bit more time. Yes, that was a good win. The two bishops mate is quite easy actually. He got a bit over ambitious. He missed this bishop e2 check. But okay, it also happens in. Yeah, he really got a bit over ambitious. Playing with 2 seconds. Personally, Botnik is someone who I find really comfortable, but the time factor. And I think the game we had was a really interesting game. I was certainly better until this point. And here I really didn't set him the kind of problems that I should have. I went too direct with my threats. And I should have just brought in my king. I should have, just kept advancing but and this was a stupid blunder by me. Although, to be fair, I was a bit worried about the repetition. So 6 out of 8, and I think the next game could start any moment. I don't think we have time to go through this one. 88.8%. Now, what I'm curious is if what I played was accurate. Here, Night City was apparently not accurate. But this is -6. Wow. Oh, I just had Rook into F3 check. Is there a break after the 8th round or something? Why the game's not starting? I'm part of the tournament still, right? Yeah, I just completely missed Rook into F3 check. This would have been sweet. Instead, I went for a much weaker alternative. I wonder, I wonder why I didn't see something as simple as this. I should have seen this. But yeah, I think the opening was pretty okay by me. Yeah, the queen trade was the turning point, and queen j6 was not a good move on it. So he really didn't play that strong in this game. He should have played knight h4, which was definitely better, forcing me to trade my queens, but without allowing me to correct my pawn structure. This is still nice for black, but probably better than what he played. I was already better by this point, and you see, I'm trying to play against his pieces. So I played knight a5 first, then a6, to keep his pieces out of the game, and then keeping the pressure on these pawns so that this bishop does not develop easily. So bishop g5, knight a4, he had to play long castle. And here, according to the computer, after bishop e6, I win this pawn by force, because after king b1, there's some rook into c3. Yeah. Rook into c3, and I can read. But I felt that this was already creating a lot of pressure on him. It was not easy in a position like this to play as white with all the pieces menacingly pointing. And his best option was to try and trade my bishop, but it's not easy to find this. So he went rook d8, takes e4, and now I should have played rook into f3. Look at this chess.com bug. It still shows knight h4 is best in the move 20. Huh. So it means knight h4 is best here. Okay, got it. It's not a bug. But yeah, here I missed rook into f3 check. This is a bit disappointing. Any move along this line, rook into f3 and rook into e3 is disappointing. So I should have played this. I missed this. Yeah, this is not such a big advantage anymore. I also missed king a3 to be honest. I thought he's losing this pawn by force. This would have been a big advantage. Or maybe not. This is also a draw, despite the 3 pawn advantage. Now I got some advantage, but one thing is, yeah, I shouldn't have hurried with this g3. He should have been calculating it every move. Instead, I got a bit panicked here, because I have a lot of bad experiences against him when it comes to playing with less time. I've been flagged quite a bit in Arena Kings and stuff. He's very fast with less time, so I panicked a bit, and that is the reason why I didn't play quite that optimally here. But okay, it went well, and I think Spotify is working right now. So in this case, we can have some music for the last 3 games. Where is my Spotify link? Oh, I do hope I don't click on a different link. Yeah, Spotify is working. So We can. No, I didn't watch Ronald's game in Ronald. Wait. Should I? Is it good? Oh, my game has started. ZHUU96. It's a good player. I'll play music from next round, guys. Sorry. Interesting. So the English opening, Kings Indian defense. In a way, this is the closest lane reverse for white, and black has saved some time by starting with G6 and F5. Normally, he has this knight on F6 impeding it. Going for this pawn. Maybe that was not a good move from my part. So the smart people, when they make a mistake, they accept it and they reverse it. So the game is still complex. And I can't get this Ed Sheeran song out of my head. Chat, who is your favorite artist? So far, he has played good moves. Bishop is on F7. I should get some E3 and F4 going. Knight E6 and now F4. If GF4, EF4, EF4 means G4. Or should I just go GF4 anyway? And take with the E5. Take this one. Am I in trouble? Well, it's probably a good thing to take with a piece here. Knight G4, I can go Bishop B2. Bishop into B2, Rook into B2. Queen F6, I always have D4. And Knight E3, I can just go Queen F3, that doesn't worry. Ah, also, I had this Bishop B2, Rook B2, Queen F6, Queen G4 check, which would have been very pretty. But this was a nice little touch by him. I'm still very tempted to take this Queen G4, Queen G5. Very tempted to do it. It shouldn't be worse for. I think it should be good for me. A bit better. I think so. I'm not sure. Can I play Queen F4 here? Is it a strong move or is it just a flashing? I don't know. Attacking both these pawns. Queen G5, I'm thinking he has to do. Then I'll take, and play some knight f3. Which looks good to me. Probably had other moves as well. This one I did not see. But this also shouldn't be bad for white early. Bishop a2, rook c1 is the idea. Rook c1 is a general threat. If my rook and knight combines, it can get dangerous. This is a good move. With c7, he has rook d7. Start with h4, rook d7, e5. Rook e8, I have e6 at least. Aside from, no, probably I have only e6. So this is threatened. e6 takes bishop e6. Knight e6, rook e6, bishop h3. I do have. In any case, what else do I have? Now, bishop b7, he wants bishop e6. So he is actually threatening that. Somehow managing to defend himself. So, yeah, but I think I need to make a quick decision. I'll take this and then I'll just take this. And I'll have a safe position at the least. So this didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it. Not quite the way I wanted it. The problem is time that puts me under pressure. Yeah, this potential threats are so annoying. I think I should still probably be safe. King has no way out. B1 check is the threat. Let's see how I can defend against it. Okay, I got outplayed in that one. I just got a bit too slow. Probably enjoying the game a bit too much, without worrying about the let's say amount. Joel is here. Hi, Joel. If you came here to watch some good chess and learn, then this is the right place. I guess I was doing quite well until this point. Yeah, maybe even bishop b2 was not necessary. I was better. I was playing good chess until this point. Made all the right decisions, and even this position, I felt I shouldn't be worse. But it turns out that I was a bit worse all through. So my evaluation was wrong here, and that was one of the big reasons why I lost this game, because I kept looking for something better, whereas I should have settled for something less. So I think wrong evaluation was one of the root causes of losing this game. Even that would have been fine, but yeah, I had to take this play bishop g2, and I could have kept the game going, but I don't think I would have saved this because he has this c pawn. If this didn't exist, then I could have tried to hold, but I didn't. How is Joel's stores going, by the way? And have you spent all your money from COB3, or do you still have some remaining? Okay, so finally we have some music in the stream, and I guess that will give me the impetus I need to finish this stream off on a good note. 6 out of 9 after 9 games. 3.5 points more than Hikaru, so it's more than what I would have asked for if you had offered me before the tournament. How's Ronak and the others doing? Are the games still going on? Oh, Harika is playing against Aditya Mittal, and they made a draw. So both of them have 6 points. They joined me at 6. And other standings otherwise, Andrikin is winning this one. Pranav Vijay is the best Indian performer so far. And where is Ronak? Ronak has lost, so 6.5 out of 9. I'm also at 6 out of 9, and Gotham is also at 6, so I didn't need to get to speed up a bit. Finish off with a decent score. Who is Tanmay and why is he mod? Joel, how are your monsoon romances going? There's a lot of monsoon now, but not a lot of romance, and really missing those old tales. Do you know who Tanmay is? I don't. Playing against woman FIDE master Margarita something. I can't read Russian. And my game has begun. So fasten your seatbelt and enjoy the music. First move took a while. I suppose she was AFK. My first few moves are just gonna be the usual blitz stuff, which I'm blitzing off. Now she'll play. Oh, this is so passive from her. Giving up control of the center. I should ideally get in a break with d5 before she manages to develop this. Black is really suffering from lack of space. What if she plays b6? Yeah, a5, a3 was designed to meet a4 with b4, and now this pawn is a weakness. Next I'll get rook e1. Can I play some d5? I don't think I need to. I think the position is nice by itself. I don't have to do anything special. To be honest, yeah, I think I can just take this. I just need to ensure that I don't spoil anything rather than, create anything more. The position is so nice. Now, what does that sound similar to? Getting some counterplay going. She's like, பொறுத்தது போறோம் போகிறீங்க. Rook g3 knight h2. g3 queen g4 knight h2 queen h5. Then I'll just come to c2 or g3 queen d. Then come to c2. Oh, she went all the way back. Why did I even bother calculating? Typical life situation. The thing you expect doesn't happen. I mean, the worst you expect doesn't happen. Next I'll go c5. So bishop is RIP. Have a good last look at this bishop because you won't see it again. So that this bishop can get on this stuff. Can go h5, h6. Rook d6, knight d5. Start with h6. But I'll just Rook d6, she can go knight c8. So I'll start with this. Rook. No, that's not where I wanted to draw the arrow. I really want rook d6, but knight c8 is annoying. Then I'll come rook d4 and rook h4. Yeah? So rook gets. Okay. Why am I even bothering to calculate the best moves for my opponent? Bishop f5 is a threat. Queen f7, defending this. Knight d4 should win something here. F4. I can take knight e6, I can take rook into e6. Both of them look equally tempting. I think I'll trade off the rooks, just in case. So I took rook into e6. No, I think I'll take this. Bishop into h7 check and fine. Then I have knight e6 check. Now I have a whole plethora of options. Queen b8 should win, bishop h7 should win, queen g5 should win. Rook and h7 would have won. So such an easy game. Now knight e6 should win. Queen b8, queen d8 is checkmate. Queen d6, queen d8. If king goes to e7, then queen d6, queen d8. Knight g5 wins the queen. So I could, just toy around and stuff. Or I can do a quick and painless death. I think I'll go for this. Okay, so that was fun. Yes. 7 out of 10. And oh man, now I have Chaya on my head too. I wish I can play some of this mainstream music, I so badly wish I can play from my actual YouTube playlist. Pranav is doing well. He's fighting it out against Sarana. 7.5. Oh, I didn't see the percentage of that. Yes, Vibha. Bye-bye, protagonist. 90.7, not bad. Does my voice still sound a bit off? I'm gonna sleep right after the stream. I'm damn tired. Why is this only 90.7% though? I thought I played such a good game. I mean, not that I had any difficult moments, but it was still nice and instructive. Surely deserved better. Why does Stockfish want to play rook d6, knight c8 and rook d1? I don't know. That's a bit weird. Yeah, thank you Anshika for trying to close down my channel. Oh guys, and do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I forgot that I had to say such things, Too engrossed in chess. So we have 198 watching, 410 likes. So let's take it to 450. I don't know how many of you liked and how many of you haven't liked. And in my 2-hour stream, this is the first time I'm shouting out this. But yeah, do hit that like button and subscribe to the stream if you haven't. What is the WFM? Oh, the WFM LMAO. Knight c8's point is that you don't want to allow the rook on d6. You don't want to have the rook to stay. What? Oh, he won on time. Nice. So Pranav has 8.5 out of 10, and he's He's actually at the top. He's going to finish well. It's incredible. It's 11:30, and I mean the tournament started at 11:30, and he's playing so well. Raunak has 7.5, and I think I should be the third Indian. There's also Aditya Mittal with 7 out of 10. I do hope I've left Gautam far behind with that seamless victory. One more round to go. Thank you, the protagonist. You would have anyway subbed, right? Because you are able to chat and there's a subscriber on the chat. There were some people who didn't quite like this, having to wait for 5 minutes before being able to chat. But, the subscribers do deserve some perks. And it's only fair that they have at least the right to chat. Yeah, I do plan on playing World Rapid and Blitz Corona for a bit. Two more games still going on. This is a Rook and Knight. This is a rolling checkmate. So all games over. Last game set to begin at any moment. Good night, Bharat. Yeah, you can reach 1800 EVO. So I end with Gabix94, whose actual name is Gabo Nagy. Okay. He's a grandmaster from Hungary. I think he's close to my age. D4, knight f6, knight f3, d5. London system. Okay, go to the main man. It's an interesting opening where I can't seem to. So this is the Rogozin, which you probably all know by now. C5 I'm not sure of it. Feels a bit wrong just after I played it. Now he has two nice bishops actually. This feels so risky. I haven't started out well at all in this game. Bishop e4, I think I need to play knight c6. Because knight b c6, d5, takes, looks bad for me. I still have f5 though. So it might just work. And I probably do need to take risks, having played so badly in the opening. Okay, this is a completely different tangent, which I did not see at all. King h7, knight g5, king g6. This is different from the game I played against Andriy Punin. Okay, I'm not getting instantly checkmated. What's his idea though? If I play f6, he wants h5 check. And if I go king h6, then how does he intend to? Also, I can't take king g5, then I'll get mated with e4. But f6, h5, I can go king here. And then how does he plan to mate me? Queen c2 check or queen d3, I'll play knight f5. Otherwise, I'll just king h6. He didn't need to do this, I think. He had a very good position without it. I'll play CD. h5 I have to go king h6. I cannot take this. Then I'll get destroyed after e4. Knight f3 I probably need to do king h7. But I can start with CD. e4 check. And now king h7. E into f5, e into f5. That is an option. Or I can start with king h7. Now he'll play g4. And the same thing. So it's probably better I start with cd4, e4 check, king h7, e into f5, e into f5. h6 I have always d6. Knight into d4 I think I'll have knight c6. If he takes queen into d4 I'm out of danger. Now the idea is knight e5. Yeah, I need to get 2 more pieces out. Bishop e6, queen d7 seems fair. Queen e8, queen 8 h5 is also tempting, but that would lose this pawn. So I think bishop e6 is a fair move. The idea of queen d7. Now we'll go knight h4, I think. Yeah. Still, I'm not totally out of date here. Just to defend this. I really want to get some queen f7 going, but he will take knight f5. Does this move make it easier for me though? Because queen f7, knight f5, bishop it is c4. Knight d6 check, I'll take bishop to d3. He goes some queen b1 though. So annoying. No. But then I think I can just go d3 there, so it should be good. Knight f5, bishop c4, attacking discoverer. Queen h5 is a threat. It's a good move. I think I should be able to take this. Queen f5 check, just come king g8. But not a first choice for sure. But yeah, what to do? Takes everything and then finally he plays on h6. h6 and I need to defend very carefully here. So h7 check is a threat. So I think I need to take this. Bishop h6, I'll have queen e1 and queen e5 anytime. Queen h6, I think I have queen e6, which should force the exchange of queens. But equal pawns in land. Equal pawns in land, but my pawn will be a bit more advanced. So takes, bishop h6, then I think I'll start it. Okay, clever. Still trying with a very little time for me. Oh! It was sad. I just missed that was hanging. It was so winning for me. All I needed to do was just take this and it was over. I just completely missed that this was being attacked. Man, I could have shown you a display of how to mate with bishop and knight. It was sad. But I think 7.5 is still a decent score considering how he started out. Losing the first 2 games, that too in such a pathetic fashion. The rest was actually pretty decent overall. I just forgot that the knight was hanging. I didn't expect him to put his knight in price like that, with 3 seconds remaining for me. And I was totally focused on getting that pawn to queen. I was totally focused. My attention was on something else. Pranav is losing. This will get taken a check and bishop d7 will come. And okay, his queen is lost. He finishes off with 8.5. I finished exactly with 5 pawns more than Hikaru in this tournament. And Andrekin is the winner. Demcheko second place. And then Chong, Jospin, and the guy who beat me. So if I was close to 9 out of 11, but a couple of brain freezes. Raunak scored 8.5, a lot closer to 9. But yeah, again, I think it was a pretty decent result overall. It's 7 out of 11. The final part was just sad. The sacrifice by him was not a great one at all. And here knight a5 was better. Yeah, it was much better too. Queen f7 was just not necessary. Losing control of this. Whereas knight a5 kept control of everything and attacked this pawn. It was hugely winning. This went okay and I neutralized things. Here the biggest problem was I was playing too slow. But actually bishop d7 was a very good move here. And I was completely winning because this knight is out of the game. And here I was really expecting knight b5. Who would play knight c6 here, man? Giving up the knight like that. Knight c6. And okay, fortunately I could end with a draw rather than a loss. Would have been pretty sad if I blended a piece like that and lost the game. Oh yeah, Levi is getting married. All the streamers are getting married one by one. AD's marriage was kind of like private. Yeah, so that's the end of this tournament. Andrekin finishes first, Demchenko second, and Jeffrey Chong third place. And where do I finish overall? 29th. Not bad, to be honest. It's not great, but not bad. I'm ridiculously underrated here though. Some 27-30. Lot better player than that, but just getting back into shape. So tomorrow I hope the Arena Kings will go well. And let's have a look at who finished below me anyway. So there's Harika, there is Kamsky, the legend. So many Grandmasters. Ryalkin, Gabrielian. I'm not sure who this is. Martinian. Chess DJW is Wagner. Please look in the stream. Gotham Chess. Then many Grandmasters. So yeah, not a great tournament. Terrible start, 0 out of 2. But I think after that, it was decent. Still not back to that rhythm that I would like to have, but it was pretty decent. So thank you all guys for sticking through. No, this is not tilted Tuesday. I wasn't going to get tilted. I don't get tilted so much in any case in general. I'm always at a literally don't care mode. Yeah, the bishop and knight mate. I would have so loved to show it here. I had recently done it in a course of mine, so it was pretty fresh in my memory, and it would have been a good touch to do it live and show you how it's done. Unfortunate that I couldn't. I just missed this knight into c6. But okay, there is always going to be such moments in both chess and streams and life. So I guess it's all right. It's 1:40 right now, so I do want to sleep. And I was already tired at the beginning of the stream, but nevertheless, I want to be able to sleep on time. And for me, at least on time is something like 2 a.m. right now. I don't want to make it past that. So I think this is a good time to sign off. And thank you all guys for sticking through. Once again, do hit that like button, subscribe to the stream if you haven't. and see you guys tomorrow for Arena Kings. And I do hope to do more streams more often, and hopefully with better energy next time, with better throat. Um, Today was pretty low energy, but I think the chess content was it made up to some extent. Okay, yes, bye bye. Thank you so much. Love you all. See you tomorrow at 11:20.